Okay. Well, Les, thank you for agreeing to let me interview you. All week, I think I've been embarrassing you to all the other patients by saying, he's our celebrity. But the reason I've asked you is because you are the second person in the UK ever to have the MBST, and that was 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, why did you need a physiotherapist in the first place?
Well, throughout my working life, from the age of about 15 onwards, I injured my back at that age, and throughout my working life, which has been mainly a physical manual type job, I was constantly worrying about my back, and it would go into spasm every now and again if I did something silly or whatever. And over the years, I had various different sort of treatments and tried acupuncture and all sorts of things.
And it just was nothing else was working. And
No, nothing worked at all. It was a quick fix, but nothing really worked anyway.
yeah, so you came to Anne. You found Anne Claire.
I did.
So, going to Anne, of course, no one would have known about MBST technology. I mean, not enough people know about it now, let alone back in 2007. So when she said to you, look, Les, I want to try you on this machine, what was your initial reaction?
Well, initially, I came to see Anne because she'd been recommended as a physio, and she explained to me the difference between physios, osteopaths and chiropractors. And she gave me a course of physio which helped, but she said that there is this new treatment that has just come into the UK, and would I be prepared to give it a go? My initial reaction to that was, to be honest, I thought this is pure quackery. I really did, but I'd had a lifetime of back problems, and I was in the situation where I thought, I'll try anything. I'll give anything a go, because you never know, it might work. And that was how I felt the first time that it was suggested to me.
So you had the treatment the first time round. Do you remember like how long it took you to feel benefit? When did you start thinking, oh, actually, this might be doing something?
I had the first treatment on 7 consecutive days. And after that, I felt, I would say within probably 8 weeks of finishing that treatment, my back felt stronger. And I never experienced a muscle spasm again until 2011, and that was caused by overworking. But the problems I used to get before MBST didn't come back to any real degree after MBST.
That's amazing. So today, obviously you're going back to Spain. Could you just describe your lifestyle now?
Well, I'm 66 years old in September. I've been at work 50 years. Most of my life has been a physical manual type job. My lifestyle now is semi-retired, but I still work, and I still work in a physical way, manual work and this kind of thing. I'm very active. I spend half my life in England and half in Spain. My wife and I are very keen gardeners. I can garden for quite a long period in a day, 4 to 6 hours with no real problems. We walk everywhere in Spain. We walk 6 or 7 miles a day. I have a pedometer, and I would say if there's 30 days in a month, I would hit 10,000 steps on my pedometer at least 25 times in a month.
It's amazing.
So I'm quite active in that respect. We have started to play in Spain a game called paddle, which is a cross between squash and tennis. And I've been playing that now for about 6 or 8 months. But I think that is possibly why I'm having to come back here, because maybe I overexerted a little bit too much with that.
So you've had 3 MBST courses in 11 years, this being your third.
Yeah.
You've already explained actually to why you came back for the second because...
Well, I came back in 2011 because between 2007 and 2011, to be quite honest, I really didn't have a back problem. And in a way, it lulled me into a false sense of security. And in 2011, we had a very big project at work which involved some really hard manual lifting. And I hurt my back doing that, but anybody, whether they had a good back or a bad back, would have hurt their back because we were lifting concrete slabs that weighed 10 stone each.
Oh, jeez.
And it was too much. And that's why I had the second course of treatment, really. And from 2011 until now, again, I really didn't have a back problem. Not to the point where prior to the first MBST, I was constantly considering my lifestyle. Should I do this because it might hurt my back? Do I want to sit on a long haul aeroplane because it might hurt my back? After MBST, I didn't even consider my back as a problem, and that's why in 2011 I had the second problem, because I'd stopped thinking about protecting my back, if you like.
Yeah. And then you're here today, you're saying you've started playing a new sport and you continue to be active. So now, as opposed to you, it's just preventative and just keep you going for longer and longer so you can be as active as possible.
I think, what happened with playing the paddle, unfortunately, when I started playing paddle, I didn't wear proper tennis shoes. I just wore sort of normal pumps, and I think that jarred some of my joints. Since speaking to Anne, I've now got some sports shock insoles for my tennis shoes, and after this course of treatment I will go back to playing paddle. Anne said it about maybe 6 weeks after treatment, give it a go, with the shock insoles, and hopefully I'll be okay to play again.
Amazing. Yeah, I think you just demonstrate how important it is also that, MBST, even though it's a great, what it does, having a good physio around it and having, insoles, it all sort of marries together in order to get the best out of you.
Yeah, and also what I would say really in that respect is it's always something you can come back to. If sort of in the future you think, oh, I've had this MBST or whatever, there's no reason why, like me, after 5 or 6 years, you just feel, oh, maybe a little bit of a refresher.
Yeah.
Just to top it up almost. It does help.
Keep you going, Les, we'll keep you going.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's like if you did not have the MBST 11 years ago, what would you imagine your life to be like now? Do you ever think about it?
Yes, I think, to be quite honest with you, if I hadn't have had MBST, I would seriously have taken advice with respect to having some kind of back surgery.
Yeah.
That's how serious my back was, and it was so painful, and it dominated everything in my life. If I hadn't have had MBST, I definitely would have looked into back surgery.
And this is a little bit more kinder than back surgery, hey? Just laying on a bed an hour a day for 7 days.
I couldn't, to be honest, I couldn't believe after the first set of treatment the difference, because as I said, I thought at the time, oh, this is just quackery. How can anything that you can't see, you can't touch, you can't even taste or anything, how can that possibly work? Just laying on a bed with some magnets around. I didn't believe it, but the results showed themselves, really.
That's amazing. Les, thank you. I think this will hopefully help others that are umming and thinking that it sounds too good to be true. Just confirm to them that, this is worth it. And it's good that we've got patients like you from 11 years ago that we still see.
Yeah, I would, with respect to, the fact that I've come back now for the third time, I don't consider that to be a failing of MBST.
No.
That is more a failing on my part by doing silly things.
Well, it's not, you're just living your life at the end of the day, and that's what we all want to do. And and we are going to get in, things can happen. And I think, this is why I love working with MBST. It kind of gives patients and people this option to be able to carry on what they're doing for longer.
Yeah. I think anyone who suffers from a bad back or any kind of pain will take whatever is offered to relieve that pain. I've tried acupuncture, I've tried all sorts of different methods, chiropractors and diet, all kinds of things. And people will try anything. And this is something I thought, why not? I've tried everything else, why not? It might work, it might not, and it did.
And then with MBST as well, it's safe. You haven't got to be on the medication and side effects. And I mean, have you ever had any side effects? Do you feel like anything
Never.
at all? You just
Never.
go about your day.
No, you don't feel any different at all. You don't feel sick. You don't get headaches. You don't get anything. It's it's, like you say, it's just like laying on a bed for an hour.
And you do it very well, Les. Well, thank you.
Okay.